Donald Trump is having a demented late night meltdown as everything is falling apart. Here's what he posted moments ago. Wow, Gavin Newsom just dropped out of the presidential race. President DJT. Do you think this guy has dementia? Then Donald Trump posts the following. This is the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, calling out every single member of Barack Obama's National Security Syndicate one by one. John Brennan, James Clapper, James Comey, and Susan Rice. Donald, you seem to not be doing all that well right now as your poll numbers are collapsing, as you're crashing the economy. You believe that California Governor Gavin Newsom is running for president right now? Hello, Earth to Donald. Are you there, big guy? Or I should say little guy, are you there? And then you're talking about Obama's national security team. Donald Trump is truly demented. Then he reposts the following as well. The world has peace because he turned his head. This, as the United States is on the eve of war with Iran as a result of Donald Trump and his threats to now invade Iran. You've got wars spreading across the world right now. Russia continues to attack Ukraine more than ever. You still have significant atrocities being committed in Palestine, in Gaza by Israeli forces there. But I guess for Donald Trump, it's world peace is here. Then they said, Donald Trump goes, they tried to smear him. They tried to spy on him. They tried to frame him. They tried to deplatform him. They tried to bankrupt him. They tried to assassinate him. Oh, by the way, but wasn't it a Trump supporter who was at Mar-a-Lago? The same way it was a Trump supporter in Butler, but wasn't there a Trump supporter at Mar-a-Lago the other day with that shotgun? And they were ultra MAGA. And he said, and ultimately he was telling his friends that he was obsessed with the Trump cover-up of the child sex trafficking ring. Not to mention, Donald Trump continues to post these AI videos of himself pretending to be a hockey player, punching the Canadian hockey players in the face. This as the American women's gold-winning hockey team has canceled their visit to the White House after Donald Trump mocked and demeaned the gold-winning women's hockey team. So despicable, so disgraceful with the men's hockey team. A moment that should have been actually celebrating the men's hockey team winning gold, right? I mean, that's a big deal accomplishment. You had Kash Patel, who's covering up the pedo ring with Donald Trump, chugging beers, and then Donald Trump going on speakerphone, mocking the women's hockey team. Again, just disgraceful behavior. And then the men's hockey team laughed at it as well. Just a horrible way to treat anybody, a horrible way to treat women, a horrible way to treat the women's hockey team. And then Donald Trump posting videos of himself punching Canadian hockey players in the face. Then, after news has been reported that Donald Trump's chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General Kane, has been telling people that none of our allies want to provide any help at all. Everybody's abandoned the United States regarding Donald Trump's attempt to go to war with Iran, and that we don't have the resources, we don't have the capabilities. Donald Trump then posts this. This is demented. This is post. Donald Trump posts numerous stories from the fake news media have been circulating, stating that General Daniel Kane, sometimes referred to as Raisin, is against us going to war with Iran. The story does not attribute this vast wealth of knowledge to anyone and is 100% incorrect. General Kane, like all of us, would like to not see war, but if a decision is made on going against Iran at a military level, it is his opinion that it will be something easily won. He knows Iran well and that he was in charge of Midnight Hammer, the attack on the Iranian nuclear development. Pause. Didn't you say that totally obliterated Iran's nuclear capabilities, but now we need to obliterate something that was totally obliterated? And didn't you promise the protesters in Iran in early January that you were going to help them if they went out and protested, but now 30,000 plus protesters protesters were massacred by the Ayatollah. We didn't even have military capabilities to help those protesters out because our military capabilities were in the Caribbean off the coast of the Venezuela, where you invaded Venezuela, propped up a Maduro stooge in Delcy Rodriguez, steal their oil, sell it to your right-wing oligarch buds, take the money, stick it in a Qatari bank account for yourself, create a board of peace, which is only joined by authoritarian regimes. Then you give $10 billion of American taxpayer dollars to the board of peace, which is connected to you. And so you basically stole $10 billion to give yourself that amount of money. You despicable, vile thing, you. Anyway, Donald Trump goes on to say, in this, it is a development no longer, but rather was blown to smithereens by our great B-2 bombers. Raisin Cain is a great fighter and represents the most powerful military anywhere in the world. He has not spoken of not doing Iran or even the fake limited strikes that I have been reading about. He only knows one thing, how to win, and if he is told to do so, he will be leading the pack. Everything that has been written about a potential war with Iran has been written incorrectly and purposely so. I am the one that makes decisions. I would rather have a deal than not, but if we don't make a deal, it will be a very bad day for that country. And very sadly, its people, because they are great and wonderful, and something like this should never happen to them. You caused 30,000 of them to be massacred. The blood is on your hands, not to mention the millions of people you killed from demolishing USAID. The blood is on your hands, Donald.
It's 2026. My house could order groceries, dim the lights, play whatever music I want, and somehow my blinds were still living like it's 2006. That's when I realized that there had to be a better way, and there is. It's called 3-day blinds. Seriously, it's 2026. Are your blinds still from 2006? There's a better way to buy blinds, shades, shutters, and drapery, and it's with 3-day blinds. They are the leading manufacturer of high-quality custom window treatments in the US, and right now when you use my URL 3dayblinds.com/Meidas, they are running a buy one, get one 50% off deal. We could shop for almost anything from home, so why not blinds? With 3-day blinds, locally professionally trained design consultants with an average of 10 plus years of experience come right to you and help you choose what actually works for your space and give you a free, no obligation quote the same day. And look, I'm not exactly the measure twice, install once type. Measuring and installing blinds can be a nightmare. 3-day blinds handles everything though. They design, measure, and install so you could sit back and let the pros do their thing. What I love about 3-day blinds is how much it actually upgrades your home. Thousands of options, any budget or style, from light filtering and blackout blinds to motorized and smart blinds that work with Alexa. Blinds really can pull a whole room together, and saying, "Alexa, open the blinds" in the morning feels like living in the future. They've been in business for over 45 years and helped more than 2 million people, so this is a brand you could trust. Right now, get quality window treatments that fit your budget with 3-day blinds. Head to 3dayblinds.com/Meidas for their buy one, get one 50% off deal on custom blinds, shades, shutters, and drapery. For a free, no charge, no obligation consultation, just head to 3dayblinds.com/Meidas. One last time, that's buy one, get one 50% off when you head to the number 3, dayblinds.com/Meidas. MEIDAS.
Also, the lawsuits are flooding in as well. FedEx suing the United States to get a full refund after the Supreme Court struck down the IEEPA tariffs. FedEx sues the United States to get the full refunds after the Supreme Court finds that Donald Trump violated the law right there, and our markets were a-tumbling today. Horrible, horrible, horrible. The stock market was down significantly. The Dow, the Dow is 50,000. No, it's at 48,000 now. Down nearly 1,000 points. The S&P was down over a percentage point, and the NASDAQ was down 1% as well. And it seems, folks, like it's just going to get worse and worse as Donald Trump continues to impose tariffs against the rest of the world. But you know who's thriving right now? The head of Binance. Remember the guy who Donald Trump pardoned? Remember that guy? About $1.7 billion flowed from 2 accounts at Binance, whose founder was pardoned by Trump to Iranian entities with links to terrorist groups, a possible violation of global sanctions, investigators discovered. But Mike Lee, MAGA Republican senator, posted a photo of cartel hitmen wearing masks in the Guadalajara region in Mexico. in the Jalisco area over there, after the El Mencho, the leader of the biggest cartel there, was killed by Mexican special forces, and the U.S. also claimed credit for it. So Mike Lee's point is cartel hitmen wear masks. Leftists aren't complaining. So you're comparing ICE and Border Patrol Gestapo to cartel hitmen. Probably an accurate comparison. But yeah, I think that both should not be wearing masks. How about that? Also, Prime Minister Carney traveling to India, Australia, and Japan this week in his latest effort to cultivate trade ties as he seeks to wean Canada off its economic dependency with the United States. Fakar Yousfazi writes, the BBC reports, linking a transatlantic partnership with a trans-Pacific partnership. You know the game Connect the Dots? Yeah, the U.S. is being connected out of those dots, isolated, never weaker because of Donald Trump and his despicable regime. But J.D. Vance says there's a lot of great factories being built, a lot of great factories all over. They're popping up. We're not sure where they are, but there's factories everywhere, according to these liars. You can't lie. Y'all are covering up a child sex trafficking ring, okay? Y'all lie about every damn thing. But okay, JD, let's hear what you got to say, JD. Okay, JD, play this clip.
Of reshoring manufacturing, of all these great factories that are being built. But when they turn on and you're hiring thousands of American workers per factory, that's when the real Trump boom, I think, starts. I think he's going to talk about regulatory change, the importance.
And then Steve Witkoff, Donald Trump's envoy to every country with zero diplomatic experience, he's out there saying Putin's a great guy. Putin's the kind of guy who keeps his word, everybody. That's what they're saying.
So hopefully you'll be hearing some good news in the coming weeks.
Well, a lot of this does boil down to Vladimir Putin, and I know you've dealt directly with him. So first of all, what is that like? And how do you, with this position, go into dealing with some of these adversarial people?
He's never been anything other than straight with me. And I say that and I get attacked. But that's an accurate statement. He's told me that this is what his red lines are. You know, Lara, I got attacked for going to meet him 8 times. So how would you make a deal with someone on the other side unless you knew where the other person was coming from? I needed to understand what his motivations were, his goals, and so forth. And I actually think that a lot of those meetings now are becoming very relevant. We understand where they are. And I don't think the Ukrainians disagree with us in our assessment. So I think those meetings were important, and hopefully we're going to consummate this whole thing.
Anyway, so despicable. There you have it, folks. Hit subscribe. What the hell was that Witkoff thing? You saw that clip? Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers. Thanks, y'all, for watching. Appreciate you. Oh, we're at 7 million subscribers. I said 6 million. Go to 7 million subscribers is what I meant. Thanks for watching. We hit 6 million. Not bad.
The truth is more important than ever. Check out our new Truth Over Lies collection at store.meidastouch.com. All 100% USA union made.